Well, it is still not too late to say ho, ho, ho. We hope that everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Obviously, everything a little bit different, but hopefully you enjoyed the day. Chris Berman, Booger McFarland. This is Week 16, the penultimate week of NFL Primetime, and hopefully you guys had a little time at home yourself.
Everybody had a great Christmas. Santa was good to everyone, Boom.
Santa is always good to everybody. Now, could we take that to football and have Santa? First of all, before we go on, let us be among the first to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Hence, we're getting into the festive mood. Now, once upon a time, I used to host this thing like 30 years. 2004, Phillip Rivers, 4th overall pick. You know about the trade, Chargers, Giants, 10th overall pick, first round, Ben Roethlisberger, Steelers. Could today be the final time they would face off? They may face off next month, you don't know. Two of the best that have ever played it. And the Colts, Jonathan Taylor gets a handoff, and they were just and they're having some fun because they were slicing through the Steelers early.
Nice little Soul Train line.
And then Rivers talked about, oh, wasn't that much fun because T.J. Watt could be Defensive Player of the Year. What do you hear? He said, Mike Hilton. They made a reservation at the wrong Hilton. That's the Pittsburgh Hilton.
And a great play by T.J. Watt. Not being able to get the quarterback on the ground, getting the ball, it's a sack nevertheless, Boom.
So as a result, the Steelers punch it in. They don't have far to go at 7-7. Now, we get the reservation right. That's T.Y. Hilton. That's the Indianapolis Hilton. Oh, that's where you want it to stay. 14 yards. And then Taylor, how about this tough run for the youngster? 14-7 Indy.
Early on, the Colts' physicality was too much for the Steelers.
It was. 3-and-out Pittsburgh. Here's the Colts. Rivers. This is nice. This is why he was the 4th overall pick many moons ago. Zach Pascal, touchdown.
2 words you never hear about Phillip Rivers. Pocket mobility caused that play to work.
And he tied Dan Marino 420 touchdown passes. That's 5th all time. Now, look at this. We did not add the play I was looking for. Roethlisberger. So the score is 24-7, and here comes Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson with a great grab for a touchdown at 24-14. Now, we start to see there was one flag earlier, another flag now, 4 flags on the Colts in the second half on pass interference. And Big Ben says, we're going to give us that. That's Eric Ebron at 24-21.
Big plays and penalties allowed the Steelers to get back into this game.
Yeah, over 9 minutes to go. We got a ball game here. All of a sudden, now there's a hole. James Conner sees a hole. There's the longest run of the game for the Steelers. That just doesn't sound right.
This doesn't, not at all.
I know the bus isn't available. How about the tractor? Meanwhile, Big Ben to Juju Smith-Schuster. And now they're catching it, and now they're feeling it.
It's amazing what you can do when you're not making TikTok videos, Boom.
Well, 28-24, it is amazing concentration. And that ball. What do we got here? Pass interference, and so Rivers. Oh, that's the one that's just off the hands. Now, $1.50 to go. There's the pitch. And here come Indianapolis. Rivers. Oh, that's just off the hands of Pascal. Can't quite connect.
Yeah, Rivers just a little bit inaccurate right there. He's got to throw that ball where Pascal can sit down. He was off target. Just missed him, Boom.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers looking like they were nowhere near capable of getting even in the game, let alone coming back from a 17-point deficit. By the way, tying the biggest deficit they've come back to win in Mike Tomlin's 14 years of coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers. 28-24. The Steelers have won the AFC North.
We're excited about the hats and T-shirts, man. We've been waiting to put them on for a few weeks now. And so, it's a lot of excitement in there, and rightfully so, man. They've earned that.
It's cool to be, division champs. We knew we were in the playoffs, but this wasn't our end goal. This is one of our goals. And so we said with these 2 weeks ago, it was kind of our postseason, preseason, and we played a really good football team today. And so I'm just proud of the way that we could pull it off.
Look, we'll start with Pittsburgh, but let's just say at the half, yards, Booger, which don't mean everything, but you saw the highlights. 206 Indianapolis, 28 for Pittsburgh. Their touchdown came on a 5 or a 6 yard drive. This looked improbable at best for Pittsburgh. What changed?
Well, what changed is in the second half, Pittsburgh started getting to Phillip Rivers. The pass rush started to get there. And all of a sudden, the pass protection for Ben Roethlisberger was better. And then you start to get some big plays on top of that Indianapolis Colts defense and the penalties. The Colts defense has been so reliable.
Yes.
But the penalties and allowing the big plays in the second half allowed the Steelers to come back. If the Colts go back and look at the tape, they're going to be really ticked off with themselves because they gave this game away in the second half.
Well, Pittsburgh had a 3-game losing streak, which we know about. We saw Monday night that the Bengals, that was with everyone scratching their head. Now they're 12-3. They haven't won the North in a few years, which is a long time in Pittsburgh. Now here's Indy. They are really solid. But 10-5, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, could be they don't control their destiny at the moment. Could be on the outside looking in. I know they'll look over at the NFC East and say, what? But they know the score, and they just needed one score. All of a sudden, they look completely out of sorts.
This is what you pray for if you're the coach. You got a 17-point lead with a physical offensive line and a big running back in Jonathan Taylor. They should have been able to salt this game away. They're going to look back on it and look at all the mistakes that they had in the second half, the penalties, the tip balls, the turnovers. They allowed the Steelers to get back into this game. And for the Colts, they had the playoffs in their hand. Now they don't even control their own fate.
Yeah, they did. But look, the Colts know that early the first week of the year they lost to Jacksonville. Well, they host them in week 17. Let's see how the other things add up. Boy, one thing we do know: no one has beaten the Kansas City Chiefs except for the Raiders this year. And if the Chiefs win, they have home week 16, home week 17. Maybe they'll be home all the way through. Don't want to say it. Andy Reid, that's not Santa. And look, the Radio
Rockettes?
City Rockettes, absolutely. We saw this kind of thing in the Super Bowl, but this time, Sammy Watkins throwing to Patrick Mahomes, who was signaling he was open.
And guess what? Patrick Mahomes got mossed on that one.
He did.
Look at the creativity.
This again. Nice precision. They're having fun, but the Atlanta Falcons would have none of it. Boy, they came to play today, and it was picked off Keanu Neal. And so, you know what? Trickery didn't help them. Matt Ryan. They had the big lead against Tampa, and they couldn't pull it off last week. Inside pitch to Hayden Hurst. Falcons lead at Arrowhead 7-0. Mahomes, Travis Kelce, right before the end of the half to tie it at 7.
Travis Kelce, the offensive player of the year in my mind. Nice little sit down right there. Mahomes found him.
The latest, the Chiefs have recorded their first points in a game under Mahomes with a minute to go in the half. Now, picked off by Atlanta. Oluokun makes the play until, watch out from behind, the fastest man in the West. Tyreek Hill knocks the ball out. Outstanding hustle after the pick.
Patrick Mahomes throws a bad pick. He doesn't see the linebacker. But what about the hustle from Tyreek Hill?
This is a 10-7 game with 5 minutes to go. No, Atlanta has the lead. Are you kidding? They're going to go into Arrowhead. That's Matt Ryan to Laquan Treadwell. It's 14-10. 3rd and 10, Chiefs 25. Mahomes, Kelce. Look, when all else fails, we have all the gadgets, but you have Travis Kelce. There was an illegal block which cost him 10 yards, but they're on the move. Single-season receiving yardage record for a tight end. Now owned by Kelce, passing the Niners' George Kittle. Mahomes. Just before the 2-minute warning, A.J. Terrell.
Got to have that play. You make that play, there's a high probability the Falcons win. When you don't, look what happens the next play.
Raheem Morris challenged, but he knew he wasn't going to get it. Now they lose it. And then the next play, Mahomes to Cuckoo-Cachoo. DeMarcus Robinson, touchdown. The Chiefs looking out of sorts all day, up 17-14. Now, Matt Ryan, they had trouble covering Calvin Ridley, as everybody has lately. 5 for 130. Pro Bowl kicker, Younghoe Koo. Cuckoo-Cachoo. He feels like the walrus. A 39-yard field goal. He's been great. He wouldn't be the Pro Bowl kicker if he didn't have a year like that. What, did Andy open the door in Arrowhead and all of a sudden the wind came in?
It should have been a little draw, but the fade the wind, just a little off.
Chiefs, even when they're off, they win, and the Falcons, even when they're on, they lose. I mean, and so the Kansas City Chiefs, not only will they be singing I'll Be Home for Christmas, I'll Be Home for New Year's, they'll be home for January. Next road trip, if they get this far, Tampa, Super Bowl 55. That will be the first time they will make any sort of trip. The Cleveland Browns looking to make their first trip to the playoffs in 2002, the longest drought Baker Mayfield just played on this field last week against the Giants, and the Jets, well, somehow they won last week, but the Jets said, wait a minute, what do you mean somehow? Look at this. Jamison Clam Crowder to Braxton Berrios. Tricky Jets. 7-3 Jet.
Jamison Crowder, the pride of Duke University, with a nice pass there. Great play design by the Jets.
And so now Mayfield says, it's all right. I got this. And no, he doesn't have this. Ball recovered by Fatukasi. And Mayfield was in trouble in the pocket all day.
He had just a step slow. A big hitch there by Baker Mayfield. He's got to throw that soon.
Hey, the Jets said, look, we won last week. Why not two? Darnold, Chris Herndon. Jets? They missed an extra point, but they're up 13-3. They looked sharp, didn't they?
Once and for all.
3rd and 6. Third quarter. Darnold. What a day. It's a cold day. Manhattan Clam Crowder. A touch. It's 20-3 Jets. The Browns are trying to go to the playoffs. What are they doing? Tell you what they didn't do when we talk about it in a minute. Jamarcus Bradley, they had none of their regular receivers, brought up a bunch of practice squad guys. I mean, that was rough. Jamarcus Bradley was a practice squad guy. He caught it. Nick Chubb, they ran from the 1, and they're down 20-10. 3rd and 1 as Darnold looks. Mayfield, quarterback sneak a first down. We thought they'd be running all day, but, in close.
Yeah, you thought they would have ran the ball more, especially down all the receivers, but they just didn't want to lean on the run, Bone.
It's one of the most puzzling things I've seen. Browns missed extra point, but they're within 20-16. Now under 4 to go. Mayfield, look out! Steps up in the pocket. John Franklin Myers, the ball is stripped from him. He falls on it. Another turnover for Kevin Stefanski's crew in Mayfield. After a field goal by Sam Slim Ficken, that's one of the worst kickoffs we've seen all year.
Yeah, just can't have that, especially in that situation. That ball's got to go out of the back of the end zone.
So it's at the 40. And now here come the Browns on 3rd and 10. Austin Hooper, he had tight ends, short of the first down. 4th and 1. 4th and like a half. They got to get to that yard, and wait a minute, it's a fumble by Mayfield. Only he can recover it after 2 minutes and advance it. He didn't. It goes back to the spot of the fumble. The Browns couldn't hold it. The Jets played like a team playing for the playoffs.
Just not a sharp day by Baker all day long, Boom. And the Jets, your Jets, played well.
Hey, the Jets said we won 1. Why not win 2? Next week, why not win 3? First things first. Cleveland still controls their own destiny, but now they've lost after a nice little run. 23-16, the Jets pull another shocker and stall playoff hopes last week of the Rams, this week of the Browns.
Did you have to completely change the game plan based on losing as many players as you did?
No, and that has nothing to do with the result of this game. We got beat. We had plenty of guys. We had all the guys we needed, and we didn't get it done.
There's no excuse. Plain and simple, I failed this team. I put 3 balls on the ground. 2 of them that, they recovered, and then the other that on the 4th down obviously needed to just hold on to the damn ball. So plain and simple, I have to hold on to the damn ball. I failed this team. We had exactly what we needed to win this game, and I didn't do good enough, and that's it.
Well, look, the headlines will say, and it's real, that they only found out Saturday all your wide receivers COVID and et cetera, and they had a parking lot practice, if you will,
Sunday morning,
or a walkthrough Sunday morning with practice squad players. All right, that's fine. But I'm Cleveland. I got Chubb. I got Hunt. The first half, I ran 9 times. I gained 4 yards. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense to me.
No sense whatsoever. And then for the game, 18 carries for 45 yards. Understand, I get it. 2020 is a different year. Everybody's having to deal with COVID and close contacts and all that. So if you're Kevin Stefanski, you're the master play caller that we've all held you to be, you have to adjust your game plan. Run the football. You have one of the better offensive lines in the league while you're going to put the game in Baker Mayfield's hands. Now, from Baker's perspective, here was an opportunity for Baker to step up. Okay, you're a number 1 overall pick in the draft. Can you carry your team? Can you be like the other number 1 quarterbacks in this league? And he couldn't do it today. He held the ball in the pocket. He didn't pick the guys up around him. And to me, that was the issue. But this loss goes on Kevin Stefanski. He's got to run the football more, especially on the road, hostile territory. That's a bad game plan by the Browns.
The Jets, they won, and we're seeing it with Bengals. We're seeing it. Some other sports leagues, maybe not the same. I don't know. But you tell a football player, we want a draft pick, don't worry. No. A lot of these guys aren't going to be there next year. None of the coaches probably will be there. This is professional football, and that's why some of the hottest teams in December are the teams that have been out of it. The Jets, by the way, they're locked in at the number 2 pick. Now, the other New York team has hopes in the NFC East, but, so do Booger and I and 9 of our friends. And the Ravens, they have other hopes. They've averaged over 40 points the last 3 weeks, hit a 3-game winning streak. And the Ravens, this was over early. Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, 7-0 Baltimore at home in the big crap game.
That's what we want to see more of. Lamar Jackson in the pocket, rhythm, timing, touchdown.
He threw the ball well. Stuff legends are made of. That game against Cleveland, and he is, nothing open. Wasn't a design run, but you know what? I can design 18 yards.
This is when he's dangerous. Off-script plays, he's phenomenal.
Ravens running. J.K. Dobbins, the youngster, 17 yards. Second goal now from the 2. You did that work. Why not let you do this? Bang. Power football.
Love the play call, pull the guard, power fullback, and Dobbins with the tough physical. That's how Ravens play.
They've been playing that way. It certainly, as of late, that is Baltimore football. 14-0, third quarter. Dobbins bursting for 25 yards. Ravens rolling. First and goal from the 8. We saw it last week. This is Des Bryant's first touchdown catch since last week.
Throw up the X, boom.
Of course, the other one was the first since 2017, but 2 in 2 weeks. Daniel Jones came back. Might be a little hurt, but Matthew Judon put a loss on him for 4. Pernell McPhee, I don't care who you were in that pocket, you weren't getting out. Ravens, power football, playing defense, 3 plays in a row. Sack, that's Chris Bordeaux, and a couple. 4th and 22, they're going to punt. John Harbaugh, once upon a time special teams coach, was really, we're going to run into the punter there and get a penalty first down.
And if it bothers anybody, it bothers a former special team coach. If you could only read the words underneath the...
It's a good thing we have masks. Giants first down. They make it a 14-point game at Sterling Shepard, 27-13. Now Ravens on a 2nd and 17. You want to see Gus Edwards do some power, catch, blown tackle, get out, get out. All you Giants, get out.
Wow, that's just embarrassing. First of all, great athletic play by Lamar Jackson, getting the ball out. But look at the will and the want to, and just the lack of effort from the New York Giants. That's embarrassing.
So, with what's happened today, first of all, the Ravens beat the Giants 27-13. Ravens have won 4 in a row. They are 10-5. They leap over the Colts in wild card discussion. Bottom line of that, they now, which they did not going into the weekend, but they now control their own destiny. Baltimore at Cincinnati next week. As for the Giants, NFC East, who knows? But Baltimore looking the part. And I will say this, they carried the ball for 40 times for 249. That would be power football.
Yeah, that's Raven ball there, boom.
So, the Giants lost. Eagles and Cowboys all looking, quote, up at Washington. Jalen Hurts, things looking up in Philly with him lately. We saw Des Bryant catch a touchdown. How about welcome back Deshaun Jackson? Look at him go. He's going to enter the league and leave the league fast.
Still has amazing speed. Half roll, the post coming across the field. Great throw by Jalen Hurts.
5th receiving touchdown of 80-plus yards, tied for the most in NFL history.
I like that.
Not to mention his punt returns. Always like watching him play. Meanwhile, Andy Dalton, Michael Gallup, 21-yard touchdown. Cowboys down 14-10. Sound effects free for the holiday.
I like it.
Dalton, the red rifle. Dallas winning with him to Gallup. It's 55 yards down the sideline. How about that, Cowboys? 3rd and goal, Dallas. Dalton, I'm going to take it myself. Am I going to?
I don't know if the Red Rifles got that kind of speed to beat anybody to the corner.
They kick a field goal. They're down 17-13. Right before the half, 3rd and 2. Dalton. Look, his name's Dalton. Why wouldn't he throw to Dalton Schultz? There's not an echo in the room. It's 16 yards. Dalton. He looks good. Nice. Gallup, 19 yards.
Yeah, not just to run after the catch guy. Look at the little toe tap there. Nice play, Michael Gallup.
And then the next play. Gallup, another touchdown. Dallas gallops from behind. They lead 20-17 at the half. Now, 3rd and 3, Dallas. Third quarter early. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Lamb. 52 yards. We got Pascal catching touchdowns for the Colts. We got Lamb for Dallas.
Nice little route. The DB thought that Lamb was going to the flat on a little pick route. Instead of going to the flat, he turned it up. Easy touchdown for CeeDee Lamb.
So it looked like a big Philly laugher, but now Dallas up 10, 27-17. 3rd and 5, Eagles. Hurts to Ertz. Dalton to Dalton. Hurts to Ertz. It's that kind of pass the eggnog. 3rd and 12. Hurts rolling left.
Oh, no.
Oh, Anthony Brown was there. All Dallas was there.
And usually you can't do that. And Hurts will learn that. When you roll into the left, don't stop and throw back across your body. That's a cardinal sin of a quarterback.
So the Eagles out. I thought the tie would help them win the division, but not anymore. Not when you're 4-10-1. Look at Dallas. 37-17. And so Dallas, they've won 3 straight. And, well, we're going to. Next week, let's see. They have a chance. They need Washington to lose. They need them to win. More on that in a moment because here is Washington. If they win, they could have put it away. Dwayne Haskins. Now, the week that he's had.
Eventful.
Steve Sims, Jr. muffs a punt. Brandon Zylstra. Carolina takes the gift, and they missed the extra point, but they lead 6-0.
Yeah, and you saw he took his eyes off the ball at the very last minute. You're protected by the fair catch. Put your hand up, catch the ball. He didn't do it.
Trenton Cannon knocked it away. Zylstra that an easy recovery. Curtis Samuel. Carolina may not have a good record. They're in every game. They try. They really do for Matt Rule, the coach. That's Curtis Samuel. Look at him go for 45 yards.
Jack of all trades, plays receiver, tailback, whatever they need. Nice little player for the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers at the 6, Mike Davis. The ball's loose, but you know what? Good call. He broke the plane.
Absolutely.
13-0 Carolina. FedEx Field. They absolutely, positively have to make something happen overnight. But not this. Tahir Whitehead picked off Washington players nowhere. So, Teddy Bridgewater, Robbie Anderson. Boy, he had a nice year with Teddy, huh? And Samuel, too. 20-3 Carolina. Now, Yetur Gross Matos will come in on Haskins. And his day would end right there.
Long week, even longer day. Haskins has got to get better as a quarterback for this franchise, Boom.
Taylor Heineke, not Heineken, but Heineke, his practice squad quarterback activated a week or two ago to Logan Thomas. Maybe something. Antonio Gandy Golden in the end zone. He tries, but it's incomplete. Washington turns it over and down on 4th and 18. Under 2 minutes to go. 20-6. Heineke waiting. Look at this. J.D. McKissick. They're not done.
Just one-on-one coverage trying to give his guy a chance to make a play.
20-13 onside kick. Almost impossible to get it. That was a pretty good one.
Unique one there. Ball on the side, still couldn't get it.
You know what? You try everything you can.
Exactly.
It's guesswork anyway. Carolina knocks first place Washington. Well, look at them. They're 6-9. They still control it. But for Riverboat Ron Rivera playing against the team that let him go last year, we wanted that. But that was secondary to a win he was trying to get in an eventful week for his quarterback and the ball club. After all, it is Christmas. Shouldn't have to deal with that stuff. Not this week, not any week.
If you remember last week, we came out at halftime, we moved the ball and put ourselves in position to score. That's why I did what I did. Okay? Well, we didn't get anything going, so I decided to make the change. That's why we made the change.
Well, I mean, there you go. But because Washington swept the Cowboys, including Thanksgiving, Washington at Philly, who's out of it? If Washington wins next week, they go as champ, as the 4th seed, be the 3rd team below 500 to get in, well, to host the playoff game. By the way, Seattle of Matt Hasselbeck and early Pete Carroll, and Carolina of Riverboat Ron at 7-8-1 once did it. The winner of Dallas at the Giants, if Washington loses, they win the division. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than they will get in. They have a home game. I'm not complaining about it. Those are the rules everybody signs up for. Look, Washington off kilter and then some this week.
Well, it was a bad week. Anytime your starting quarterback, one of the captains on your football team, has an incident like Dwayne Haskins had, and then you have to start him because Alex Smith, his calf is hurt and he can't play, it's just not a good week. Everybody's got to answer questions that they shouldn't be answering. It's not about football. You expected them to come out and play this way. Now, going forward, I expect Washington to win this division if Alex Smith is healthy and ready to go. Because if he's healthy, with that defense, the confidence of that team will pick up. They should be able to get the win next Sunday.
I'm with you. We don't know on Alex Smith.
Correct.
I would agree with you. I would predict them.
Right.
But Dallas or the Giants, if Washington loses, I don't know.
Flip a coin.
It was just a rough Washington week. But look, all is still okay, even though Haskins, they, dare I say, stripped him of his captaincy, but there's still a chance to control their own destiny. That is amazing.
Yes.
And the Chicago Bears with Arizona losing on Saturday. They control their own destiny. Wait a minute. Didn't they lose 6 in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. Mitch Trubisky. Well, you know what? They have David Montgomery. Going into this game, 3 of the last 4 weeks, 100-yard game. He was on his way to another 26 yards.
That's what's changing this offense. The physicality of Montgomery has added something.
And Jacksonville, Trubisky, Jimmy Graham. He can do that.
That's about it.
7-3 Chicago. Mike Glennon. Not Minshew, which, can we just see Minshew and have fun with it? Mike Glennon to DJ Chark. Hey, that was fun. That's an all-world catch by young Chark.
Great job by Glennon giving this guy a chance to make a play. And then Chark, one-handed, going up over the DB, just mossing the young rookie there. Great play, Chark.
We're tied at 10. But then, Mitch Trubisky, as good as he's looked at times, you still see this. Get open. No. How many Jags did you see there? That's Joe Schobert with the pick.
Yeah, that's just the immaturity. You wonder why, Mitch, you go from left to right, just throw it out of bounds, kick the field goal.
Matt Nagy going, really?
Yeah, really?
Like the Detroit get really the fun? At any rate, Mike Glennon. So, Doug Marrone says, really? Roquan Smith makes, but he fumbles, but the Bears recover 13-10. So this game is up for grabs, right? Not for long. Early third, first minute, Trubisky, Montgomery, nice move. Bang, 24 yards. 2nd and 2 from the 6. Mitch. Oh yeah, not touched. 20-10 Chicago.
Amazing. Run the football, play action, get your quarterback on the outside, good things happen.
Now, Montgomery scored a touchdown, and then Glennon picked off by Roquan Smith again. Bears just outside the red zone, and they're going to put it away, and then some right here. Trubisky, play action. Jimmy Graham, he was open.
Yeah, he was.
He can do that.
Play action, he can still do it, Boom.
The Bears, what were they?
They were undefeated.
Almost
quarterback.
Almost. They 5-1, 5-7, now 8-7. The Chicago Bears control their own destiny, although they're home to Green Bay. But look, they never thought they could say that going into Week 17. And the Jags, and wait a minute, guess what? The Jags, I hate to say it, with a week to go. Yeah.
On the clock.
They're on the clock. The Jags clinched the first draft pick, and the Jets are number 2. We pop corks. We have clocks. I told you, sound effects on this edition of Primetime Holiday Edition are free. Now, for the NFC West title if Seattle can do what they haven't done in 5 of their last 6 meetings for Pete Carroll against Sean McVay. Beat the Rams. They lost earlier in L.A. Seahawks can win division, as I said. This was like Chuck Knox was coaching for both teams. Defense. And I don't say that as a Knox at all. I mean, Jared Goff, what was that? Picked off late in the second quarter by Condre Diggs.
There's defense sometimes, and there's bad quarterback play. What was Jared Goff doing? Run the football there, get what you can get, and get out of bounds.
23rd game with a turnover at least once since the start of last season for Goff, the most in the NFL. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf. You know, he was bunched up with Ramsey. This was a heck of a matchup. Ramsey got the best of him the first time. Ramsey played really well, but Seahawks drive moving at the 23, Wilson. But, you know, this is what the Rams do to him and them. They just, Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald, you see it.
That pass rush is outstanding. It starts with Aaron Donald. The addition of Leonard Floyd has been great. Michael Brockers, 2 division foes that know each other well.
We are tied at 6, like I told you, a ground chuck special. Now, 3rd and 8, first drive, third quarter, roll. Let Russ roll. And let David Moore catch. Let Russ roll out. That's what we're looking for. 20 down to the 23. Little over 2 minutes later, first and goal at the 4, Wilson. Let Russ tiptoe. Pete Carroll says we're up 13-6.
He rolls, he tiptoes. The bottom line, Russ outside the pocket is a good thing.
Darrell Henderson. Look at this play by Jamal Adams. That was on, they were first and goal from the 2, that second down. Look at that tackle.
Outstanding play coming from the backside, chasing him down. That would prove very pivotal.
And so 3rd down stuff, they go for it on 4th and goal from the 1, Malcolm Brown. Forget it. It's like the Seahawks of old, the goal line stand.
Great play by KJ Wright. Pushed the tight end into the backfield. Goal line stand by the Seahawks.
Now Seattle. They're really the Rams. Goff. Gerald Everett. First down. Goff had his hand on a defender's helmet. Appears to dislocate his thumb. Stays in the game. Rams kick field goal at 13-9. Seahawks begin to drive with about 7.5 to go. This wasn't a thing of beauty, but tick, 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 tick. But this wasn't your classic 5-6 minute drive, but it was when it ends with Wilson to Jacob Hollister. A clutch drive late in the game for Pete Carroll, and Seattle has won the NFC West. They still could, as we speak, be the 1, the 2, the 3. They could be one of those, but the Rams still got to win because they haven't dashed their way in yet. So Seattle with a 20-9 win against one of their nemesis, the Rams, for Pete Carroll.
This was a great Seahawks day. I'm really proud of what we've accomplished just by getting to this division championship right now. Just through all of the challenges that we face and all of the, the things on the outside that we're all dealing with and all of that, for this group to just continue to hold focus and really find their best through the process. I'm really fired up about it and proud of it. There was times during the season here where everybody had enough statistics to go ahead and blow us out, and like we weren't worth anything on defense. But this defense is good, and they've shown it, and they've declared it, and this is the kind of defense that we played in years past when we really had good teams down the end of this stretch. And to show like that again, week after week after week, and to show it again in the most difficult challenge that we had, and not give up a touchdown all day long, that's big time. And it was really.
Well, there you go. In a money game, they don't give up a touchdown. I know the Rams are scuffling, but on Seattle, does this mean they're a top 5 defense? No, but they play like that. That looked defensively their best performance of the year.
Without a doubt. And they're doing what good teams do, Boom. They're getting better toward the end of the season. Adams is healthy, the trade for Dunlap. Now you have a defense that has playmakers on all 3 levels with the linebackers, KJ Wright. But offensively, being able to run the football, play power football, the play action. You talk about let Russ roll out. Get Russell Wilson outside the pocket. His decision-making is second to none at the quarterback position. He is as good as there is at taking care of the football and making great decisions. I don't think anyone wants to face the Seattle Seahawks on the NFC side playing the defense that they're playing with that offense and Russ, they're going to be a tough out once they get in.
He can still cook, maybe for sure. Maybe not like the first 6 or 8 weeks because these are all big time ball clubs. But that's possible. Greg Olsen was back. They may get Josh Gordon a week or two. They don't know. But look, not that they lit the lamp unbelievably, but the Rams have one of the top defenses in football. Now what do we make of them? Because it's a head scratch. They have had Seattle's number. They boot with Goff so well. I mean, Coach McVay designs that so well. Didn't really work. Seattle had a plan for it this time.
For the Rams, it's really simple. The defense is outstanding. They can run the ball with anyone. The problem is the quarterback. When Jared Goff has issues the way that he had today, making poor decisions, throwing the football to the other team, now you can gang up on the run. The offense becomes very limited. Sean McVay has to be concerned not only about Jared Goff's head upstairs, but also about his physical attributes with the thumb. Is the thumb dislocated? What's he going to be like next week? They got real issues if the quarterback is hurt because he's there. He's the guy that's holding them back right now. The defense is good enough to win a championship. The offensive line, the wide receivers, the quarterback is holding this team back right now.
Well, and they really have. It's not like they got Fitzy or somebody sitting there either.
Right.
They really have an unknown. But the Rams have maybe they can win game 10-9 or so. I don't know. I mean, the Rams are playing Arizona, who, they need it too. So, meanwhile, Broncos, well, this is Bengals and the Texans. And this will be fun because every week, Houston, Bengals, Texans, it's somewhere here in this late pile that I have. That's a touchdown to Brandon Cook. That's a save. Goes on your record along with Dennis Eckersley. Thanks, Boog. Deshaun Watson to Brandon Cooks. The football-playing P. Rhines. Samaje P. Ryan. 46 yards to the house since he beats Pittsburgh, and now they can beat everybody.
Yeah, they look
17-10.
Looking formidable now.
Now we're tied at 17. Brandon Allen. Now, this is really nice. This is T. Higgins. How good is that?
That's a nice little bright spot. Nice little fade to the outside. Great throw by Allen and Higgins. Body control, foot control. Love it. The future's bright for that young man.
24-17 Cincinnati. David Johnson. Boy, he ran tough. Houston, well, I know it's Cincy, but Houston, every week you can get an effort out of them. Romeo, they're playing for Romeo. Not a shock. 48-yard run.
Turning back the hands of time. This is the fantasy football player's dream, David Johnson, running and catching the football.
Then, Watson to Johnson. We're tied. It's 24-all. Now, Texans trail 3, 27-24. Darren Fells, look at this. Fells, get out of here. Get out. I'm not done until I score. We're tied at, look at that play at 31-27 for the Texans. But then P. Ryan. You know what? These P. Ryan.
It's a lot of them.
They're tough. 34-31, the Bengals. And why is it every Houston game ends like this? It's a fumble. Sam Hubbard forced it. Marcus Hunt recovered it. And the Bengals, Sean, every week.
Really good job by Hubbard beating the right tackle and then going for the ball, strip sack. And you got to start to feel for a guy like Deshaun Watson. He's had as good a year as anybody in the National Football League at the quarterback position, but he has nothing to show for it, Boom.
Well, so the Bengals, that's why the Jets, the Bengals, Jets, all these, and maybe the Chargers, hottest teams in football. I never thought I would say that.
Go figure.
Chargers, Broncos, old school AFL West. Justin Herbert, rookie records, left and right, throwing the ball. Here he is to Mike Williams, 25-yard gain. Now, Herbert to Austin Eckler. 28 touchdown passes, Herbert, passing Baker's record of 2 years ago for a rookie. 10-0 L.A. Chargers. Drew Lock. Judge Judy. Can't hold on to it, Jerry Judy.
Yeah, Judy's got to make that. Could have been an easier throw, but he's got to make that. When Judy knows it, everyone else knows it also.
Fourth quarter. 16-6. Denver down. With Lock to Tim Patrick. 27 yards. Broncos in business. Locke sneaking in for a touchdown. Now 16-13. Don't tell me the Chargers are going to blow. But lately they've been winning. But Locke says that we don't care. This is a division rivalry, and I'm going to look for Noah Fant. 19 yards. Broncos moving into field goal range. Brandon McManus, 52 yards. Nothing about altitude. Sea level. Good. We're tied at 16. Now Eckler. Oh, it's off tackle. 23 yards. The Chargers, they went late against the Raiders. They're winning late now. Can they do another one?
Great vision there by Eckler with the cutback, setting up for the game-winning field goal.
37-yard field goal, Michael Badgley. Good. 19-16, he had 4 field goals. 35 seconds to go, Lock. To Judy. Between defenders, but. Tough, but.
There's a rule as a receiver. If the ball touches both of your hands, you should catch it. That's 2 for Jerry Judy on the day he should have had.
1 second to go. Lock to the end zone. The hands team, including some of the receivers. What do? Knock it down. Mike Williams back there. Why not? Chargers beating the Broncos both times this year. They're 6-9. They're winning games. And Herbert into the record books. They were so close so many times. But unlike Atlanta, who can't turn the corner, whose team is not that bad, the team that's, this time the Chargers have won, and they beat the Broncos. Saturday. In case you missed it, the Lions missed it too, don't worry. The Bucks. By the way, these uniforms are awful. They look like they're at the gym working out. Awful. They played awful. Stafford, please give him a chance with a place to play. That's Gronk from Brady. They had 5 drives result in scores in the second half. Last week, Tampa, they had 5 drives in the first half. This week, result in scores. Brady to Chris Godwin, 47-7 for the first time since 07. Your old squad.
Dare I say the Bucks looked as good as we've seen them look, and the Lions put up as less a fight as we've seen from anyone.
Niners, Cardinals. Now this is a head scratcher. 35-yard line with 9 minutes to go, down 14-12. Your own 35, and Fred Warner knocks down this pass. Cliff Kingsbury, what are you doing? I don't get it. Wilson had a long run, like 25 yards, and then the pass to Juszczyk. Big day for Harvard guys. Fitzy, you're going to see that, of course. And he caught 2, and the Niners win in Arizona. They're going to have more games in Arizona than the Cardinals will. They beat them, and now Arizona does not control their own destiny. Raiders had slight chance to stay in the playoffs. Josh Jacobs, nobody questioned Coach Gruden down 23-22. Jacobs a slide on second down, a kneel on third, and a field goal on fourth down, leaving Fitzy off the bench for Tua with 19 seconds to go. Mac Hollins, who dropped the ball earlier, and look at this, like The Exorcist, like Linda Blair, his head is twisted around.
Love the defensive call. It's cover 2. Hate the execution. The corner's got to drop back further. Gave them the honey hole shot and then the game-winning field goal.
Jason Sanders kicks it. What a game. Fitzy came in with 8-9 minutes to go. It was unreal. Back and forth, back and forth. Fitz magic. Dolphins control their own destiny, winning 26-25. Fitzmagic indeed has enabled the Dolphins to continue. Look, this season in September, nobody had them down as a playoff team. They control their own destiny. Week 17 in Buffalo. The Ravens controlled their own destiny. The Browns control their own destiny, meaning win and in next week. The Colts, as good as they can be, are the ones that need to win next week and get some help with somebody losing a game. Back to Miami. It's apparent, Booger.
Right.
I would keep doing this as long. It's going to work all year. The respect between the 2 quarterbacks is evident. The respect between the quarterbacks, the coach, and all the players is evident, and the results are evident.
Well, Brian Flores, who probably should be the coach of the year in the National Football League, has done an outstanding job of getting everyone to buy in. It's about the team, and it's about winning. And you have a young quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa who is the future. Everyone knows it. Ryan Fitzpatrick knows it, but he also knows that he's not there yet. And for a team that's trying to get a playoff spot, he needs a little help. And he doesn't have a problem when he's struggling bringing in Fitzpatrick and allowing himself to go to the bench and watch and learn. It works for them, and as long as Brian Flores does a great job of taking care of it, then it can still work in the playoffs.
So Fitzy has played for 8 teams. He's thrown touchdown passes for 8 teams. He's played 16 years. He's never made the playoffs, and they have a chance. And here there is some heritage, and as good as heritage as you can get with the Miami Dolphins, because Coach Don Shula, who won more games than anybody else, in the early 80s. David Woodley, his young quarterback, often relieved by Don Strock. In the strike-shortened year of 82, where they only played 9 regular season games, how did that work out with this sort of same relationship? They went to the Super Bowl. Washington won, but they went to the Super Bowl. So if it's ever going to work, it's work in that uniform, the Miami Dolphins. We would be remiss if we did not pay our respects to an outstanding Hall of Fame football player and an even better person that many of us had gotten to know through the years of covering the NFL and being around. We lost Kevin Greene this past week at 58 years young. Kevin, only Bruce Smith, Reggie White, since they started recording sacks early 80s, had more. Rams, Steelers, Carolina, San Francisco, 160 sacks. Kevin went to the Hall of Fame in 2016. The hair, the locks, they still look great. He played in 6 championship games, 1 Super Bowl with Bill Cowher Steelers. He and Greg Lloyd were great outside rushers at linebacker. And oddly enough, did get a Super Bowl ring eventually as a coach, assistant on Mike McCarthy's staff at the Green Bay Packers in 2010. And to Kevin's family and to those who knew him so well, we're fortunate to be your friend, and we're sorry that 2020 has left its mark yet again. Wonderful man.
Great man. One of the greatest linebackers that we've ever seen in this league.
Yep.
I got a chance to know him a little bit, and just in that little time, he touched me, just his spirit and his soul.
Here's a wonderful quote, which I want to say. Kevin describing himself, Hall of Fame time. I wasn't the biggest and I wasn't the fastest. But as long as you have a motor and you have a heart, that will overcome any physical limitations. Kevin Greene, 58 years old, a great Hall of Famer. We mentioned that the Packers, as he continued to coach youngsters, he got a Super Bowl ring, and Green Bay trying to get home field throughout the playoffs. This version of the Green Bay Packers home on Sunday Night Football against Tennessee. We welcome back to Primetime Scott Van Pelt. Scotty?
Boomer, thanks very much. And I don't know if you dubbed it the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, but few things that conjure such emotional connections to football as a snow game in Lambeau. Do you figure it's going to be difficult to throw the ball? Well, no, not for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. These two lit up the Titans all night long. First drive, touchdown, more where that came from. Packers have missed the extra point. Second quarter, same score. It's Equanimeous St. Brown for the touchdown. They go for 2, don't get it. Ensuing Titans possession. Ryan Tannehill and this Titan team really unable to get anything going. Darnell Savage with the pick. Frustration from Tannehill. Understandable, because this Packer offense, even in the snow, humming. It's Rodgers to Adams, 16th touchdown grab this year. He's the 3rd Packer ever to get there in one season. It's 19-0. But this Tennessee offense is plenty capable. Nice hat. The crown. They get the gist. This Titan offense can get warm in a hurry, and they're capable of scoring a bunch of points. Tannehill hits Jonnu Smith on the drive right before halftime, and the Titans get the ball to start the second half. 3rd and 1. Tannehill dangerous in these RPO situations and not catchable. At least not on this one. We're basically midfield, and in the blink of an eye, that's 14 unanswered. We got a game. No, we don't. We sure don't. Packers, next possession, Aaron Jones. Kicks it to the outside. How does he stay in bounds? Well, as it turns out, he didn't. Another look at this replay, and right there, clearly he's out of bounds. I realize we got snow in the field. It's kind of tough, but that's not that tough. Mike Vrabel's typically really good with challenges, but Green Bay got up there, snapped it quickly before a challenge could come, and I don't know how you lose Devontae Adams, but they did. His third touchdown, 11 catches, 142 on the night, and 4th and 1. They decided to go for it. Kicking was obviously no bargain, and there's A.J. Dillon, the rookie out of BC, and it's taller than you think, Rook. That Lambeau leap is harder to pull off than the running back might have known. He had another touchdown a little bit later. Tannehill and Rodgers exchanging holiday greetings and wishes for the playoffs. Green Bay is obviously in. Tennessee's still got some work to do. For them, it's as simple as beat Houston on the road and you're all right. Meanwhile, Green Bay is looking to clinch that 1 seed. Always tough when they take on the rival Bears. Soldier Field next week in Chicago.
All right, guys, thank you as always. And so now a week in which I think they played football on every day, right?
Yeah.
All the games, week 17, are on Sunday, which means you have to watch NFL Primetime to figure it all out. You ready for that?
I can't wait.
Happy New Year.
Same to you, partner.
Hey, we'll see you next year. For Booker McFarland, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching NFL Primetime.